Opinion Cindy McCain, wife of the late Senator John McCain, is a friend of former Vice President Joe Biden, the Democratic nominee for president. Her husband was a friend. Biden and McCain agreed on little but admired, respected and genuinely liked one another. So maybe it wasn't a surprise that Cindy McCain participated in a video about that friendship that was presented on Tuesday at the Democratic National Convention. She'd promoted it earlier in a tweet, saying, "My husband and Vice President Biden enjoyed a 30-plus-year friendship dating back to before their years serving together in the Senate, so I was honored to accept the invitation from the Biden campaign to participate in a video celebrating their relationship. It's a lovely and generous thing, and a necessary reminder, to celebrate the friendship of two men from opposite sides of the political spectrum. Although from what I've heard online from hardcore fans of President Donald Trump, they weren't interested in watching. Who knows, perhaps seeing Biden as a good and decent man would temper their enthusiasm for Trump. Doesn't matter." Cindy McCain, who did not overtly endorse Biden, is among a growing number of prominent Republicans to distance themselves from Trump. They include John Bolton, Trump's former national security advisor, Admiral William H. McRaven, who directed the raid that killed Osama bin Laden, Colin Powell, former General and Secretary of State, and many more. A detractor you don't know, but should also on that list is someone you may not have heard of, but who is worth listening to, because he was inside the room during briefings with the president and has direct knowledge of what that experience is like. Miles Taylor was Chief of Staff to former Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielson. He participated in a video for a group called Republican Voters Against Trump that is worth watching. At least if you're tough enough to take an honest assessment. In the video Taylor says in part, "I would go into the office. I would read my intelligence brief, then it was my job to help DHS to keep our country safe. What we saw, week in and week out, and for me after 2.5 years in that administration, was terrifying. We would go in to try to talk to him about a pressing national security issue, cyberattack, terrorism threat. He wasn't interested in those things. To him they weren't priorities. The president wanted to exploit the DHS for his own political purposes and to fuel his own agenda. He said that when it was pointed out to Trump that some of the things he was suggesting were illegal, the president claimed that he possessed magical authorities that would protect him." Magical authorities? Taylor says, Trump was one of the most unfocused and undisciplined senior executives I have ever encountered.